Alright my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I wanted to show you guys a little bit of FSR 3.1 in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. So I'm going to go ahead and play this just for a second. Show you guys the settings that we're using in here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to run this at 3440 by 1440. Hopefully by the time this video is all rendered out, I'll have it cut back down and I'll upscale it to 4K or whatever. But you can see everything is turned on. We're even using frame generation and everything in this one. We're over 200, but now we're going to be doing this frame by frame. We're going to go ahead and look at this because there's a lot of stuff going on. So we are going to click through each one of these and watch each individual freaking piece as it kind of flies out. You got to remember, this is at essentially 1440p because it's widescreen. I did try it at 1620p as well. I actually played around with going up, and then after I was playing around with it, it kind of, toward the end of the video, it just kind of got chaotic or whatever, so I just stopped the video, and I figured I got enough footage to like go ahead and look at this. As you can see, there's like some items, you know, like for the most part, I don't really think that you guys can tell as much while you're playing these games. But when it comes to these stupid upscalers, I don't really think that I don't know if the emphasis that is put into these upscalers really warrants the discussion that these things have taken place. Like, this is a 7900 XT that we're playing this on. I have a 3440 by 1440p monitor, ultra wide. My other monitor is an actual 1440p monitor, and then I have the C2 OLED that is 4K that I'm actually using right now as the main screen for checking this out, because I wanted to, you know, be able to, you know, kind of see the pixels and everything, you know, 100%, like more. So here's the thing, man. If you go out like this 7900 XT, I think is actually the perfect GPU for the monitor that I have now. Obviously I could get a higher tier, one higher tier of AMD GPU, and it would probably even run at, you know, a lot higher refresh rate. But as in terms of like wanting to play everything at like max settings and all of that, as you could see, the frame rate at this setting was 189. Like, well, I mean, it goes up into like the 200s and stuff on ultra settings at the native resolution for this screen. When turning on this you know, the frame generation and the AMD's fluid motion, turning on frame generation, turning on the overall FSR 3.1 quality, which overall, guys, in terms of like image quality versus like the native resolution, I think these upscalers are getting pretty good. And I don't know, man, like the stuff that people find to complain about, like you look at I mean, obviously you're losing some detail in that, but this is going so fast. Like, I'm gonna do this again in like full speed, like right now. See, like you can't, you barely can tell what the freak is going on when you do that. Like it happens so fast. Let's play a little bit of this. Like the movement and stuff in this game, it happens so fast. Let's go back and watch that whole section that we just did, in just regular speed. I'll let you guys have a little bit of sound of the game too. So these are the settings again, and I want to just go back and watch this whole section in fast speed. Like, you see what I mean? Like, you really can't tell any like visual breakup or anything during that whole segment. and it's crazy. It's crazy that like we have to, like, this is how we have to find the differences in this technology. Ghosting is always going to be a problem depending on the game. Like it's just an inherent issue. It's a good thing, like DLSS can get rid of that and stuff, and it does seem a little bit maybe more pronounced now that now that I've kind of come to think about it. It's funny that I didn't even really notice the ghosting until I put the 4080 Super back in to like test the FSR 3 on Horizon. That's when I noticed the ghosting. But then when I go back and I look at it on the AMD card, like it's there either way. But it was crazy that I didn't notice it until I put the Nvidia card in there. Maybe that extra sharpness or whatever that the Nvidia cards just kind of makes it more pronounced. I mean that is a possibility too, because I did not really notice it until I put that back in. And when you look at this game, just running around normally, and then we go back to frame by frame, you look at Rivet falling, I cannot see any ghosting, even frame by frame. Maybe in her tail, but I'm not seeing like any ghosting. I am seeing a little bit of blur down there by her feet right now. There's a little bit of ghosting right there as she lands back on the ground. But I mean, watch in full speed. You can't see that. See this right here? I mean, maybe you could see a little bit of ghosting as we like turn around in this grass or whatever. But I played through this thing and I was just sitting there and I was looking at it and I was like, I'm not seeing any freaking visual degradation whatsoever while playing this. Like, okay, I want to see this next one. I want to see what this liquid looks like as we splatter the pumpkins frame by frame. I mean, there is definitely some, like motion blur type stuff going on all over and through this at the same time. This, I guess that's saying, you want to see what the sausage is being made or whatever. It's not pretty, but the end result is good. That's kind of what these upscalers remind me of. Like, if you look at these things frame by frame, obviously you're going to be able to point stuff out. I mean, I guess some of the other guys are even talking about like DLSS still having some of these issues, and it is true. Like, I've seen these types of issues on DLSS as well as XESS, and so I don't get why people are so anti freaking AMD's upscalers. That is the only point I've ever tried to make is, dude, it's a freaking tool. It's a tool. If you are one of the people that buy a GPU that try to run it on a higher resolution than what your GPU is inherently capable of, then yes, this is something that you're going to need as a way to be able to do that. But if you really just want to play the game on a regular on your regular what's it called, on your regular freaking resolution, just buy the GPU that is right for you. Buy the right GPU. Now this here is, like, in my opinion, the perfect GPU for the resolution of monitor that I've chosen. I do mainly play mostly everything on my new 1440p OLED that one of my good buddies in the community actually freaking saved me an extra $200 on this thing by being like, Frog, it's on sale right now. It was absolutely crazy. I got to give a shout out to my good buddy Jim Tepidino for making that a freaking awesome. Yeah, saved me a couple $100. Posted that Best Buy had it on sale, so that was freaking awesome. So that was freaking awesome. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally pushed the button on the video, but yeah, Jim Tepidino. He's got a channel on here. He does stand-up comedy and stuff. I believe I watched a couple of them. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. So yeah, this is my resolution of choice. I like after buying this monitor, guys, I absolutely love it. I play everything on there, and as you can see, like the widescreen really just kind of, I think it does a lot more for like open world games and just gaming in general. I've played everything on it, but yeah, guys, I think we're splitting hairs when it comes to these stupid upscalers. I mean, like these are really great for like old GPUs and stuff, and the fact that you can use this across multiple different types of GPUs from different manufacturers and stuff. I don't see why people are so damn negative toward freaking FSR. Like this is open source. Like everybody can use this. It's not locked to any one hardware, and it usually performs pretty decently across the board. I did watch a little bit of Hardware Unboxed today talking about it, and you know, even they were saying that, you know, it does prefer, it does kind of perform a little bit better on AMD GPUs, at least in the one game. I think they were showing like a tangible, you know, like you were getting more frames by using FSR on the see, guys, I'm not seeing the freaking, like, look at this bolt down here at the bottom of the screen. Are you guys seeing any ghosting as these are flying across the screen over there toward the rivet? Like, I'm just not seeing like a whole lot of like extreme degradation of visual quality as we're going through this. When I was sitting there playing it, I was thinking, I was like, this looks fine. Like, this looks good. I'm not seeing any visual degradation whatsoever. It just looks like it just looks like a freaking video game. So I don't know. That's the whole point. Like, guys, I don't get why we're so negative towards FSR. Are we really being negative towards it because we want it to be better? Or are we literally just nitpicking at this point to try to prop up DLSS? That's what it feels like to me as an AMD GPU owner that actually likes and prefers to utilize AMD. That's what I feel like it is, guys. I feel like it is just a nitpick, and I guess a lot of it's brought on by the people that come to my comments section trying to tell me that the AMD's trash because whatever, you know, thing there. Let's do, because this is telling me that AMD is trash because they love their Nvidia, and that's what it feels like, guys. It literally, that's all it ever feels like when they are talking about FSR. When the whole freaking YouTube community starts testing all of this stuff, nobody seems to want to be able to, you know, just look at FSR alone, standalone, like I do. I look at it standalone, and I decide, you know, from what I'm looking at on the FSR, if that implementation is worth using or not. So my full thoughts on FSR 3.1 in Ratchet and Clank is this improved the experience a lot. There are some things that obviously are still there. If you're nitpicking this implementation, yes, there are still some issues with that. But if you're like looking at this and like I am right now, frame by frame, I'm not seeing the issue, guys. I am not finding an issue with the overall image quality. Like, I'm not finding anything distracting. I'm not finding anything out of place. Everything looks consistent. It looks consistent, you know, the level of detail, the level of quality at 1440p. This looks very good to me. I'm perfectly okay with that. These are quality visuals. You know, I mean, yeah, Insomniac Games has done an amazing job with this. Nixie's porting this over to PC, absolutely incredible attention to detail when it comes to these guys. They are both incredibly talented studios, and they do a very good job. To be able to get the most out of FSR in open source technology and make it work and feel good, this is awesome, guys. Like, I don't find any problem with this, and I do think it is a viable option that will save you money and absolutely delivers a really compelling experience for you playing your video games. If you need that extra boost, if you want to, yeah, this looks incredible, my friends. So, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.